What's up, guys? Brett Okamoto from ESPN here with KaraFrance, who takes on Brandon Moreno for the interim flyweight championship. And Kai, nice to see you here in Dallas. I've been kind of watching you go through media day, and one thing that stands out to me, man, is that everybody's got their own personality, right? You are so kind of soft-spoken, mild-mannered, really throughout the entire week, but then you get up to like a Friday with Cody Garbrandt, and you're going like this. Like, is that really something that you feel kind of as fight week goes, like sort of that progression into, what you turn into in the octagon?
No, definitely. My whole nature is pretty calm, composed, and just I guess not shy, but that's just who I am. I guess I don't really change it, but when it comes to fighting, this is in me. This is in my blood. I come from Māori heritage, which ultimately means that we come from a warrior background, and my ancestors would have been fighting on the battlefield for land hundreds of years ago. So I tap into that, I channel that, and that's what you see when I go up to Cody and I do a pukana, which is when I pretty much give him a taste of what's to come, and that's me respecting what we're about to do. If you know our national rugby team, the All Blacks, they do a haka before they compete against their opponents, and that just sets the scene. And then when it's fight night, you see it in my eyes. You see that fire. You see that bad intentions. That's what I'm bringing. And he wants everything that I want, and that's to be a world champion. So, man, I'm more than ready for this. This is what I've worked for my whole life. I remember walking into the gym when I was 10 years old, and this is what I've always dreamed about, being a UFC world champion. So it's right there.
Well, and what's great about this fight is that I feel like Brandon has all of that too. Nicest guy ever, but then turns into a monster on weigh-in day and on fight day. I feel like people are sleeping on this fight, to be honest with you. I feel like however many people are talking about it now, like multiply that by 30 when this fight is over, because that's what we're going to see on Saturday. Do you feel that? Like, I know you're a competitor and you go into all these fights with the same mentality, like I'm going to win this one, but do you feel like this one has the potential to be something special on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. We've got a great main event with Amanda Nunes rematching against Juliana Pena, but I feel like this is the people's main event. Everyone that knows Brandon and everyone that knows me know that we're not going to back down. And we fought each other back in 2019, but that Kai isn't the same Kai that's fighting him this weekend. I'm a father now, I'm a husband. All my experiences that I've had in this fight game, it's all leading up to this, and I feel like what you're seeing in the difference is the confidence and the self-belief. I actually truly believe I'm going to be a world champion, and that's not me chasing to be a champion, it's me training like one already, and seeing Alex and Izzy, my teammates, going on and defending their belts. I've got that same mindset where you just don't count yourself out. So when other people overlook you, underestimate you, man, that just fuels my fire. It takes me back to when I used to get bullied in high school. That's why I've started the sport. And it just triggers me. It just makes me realize, like, I've got this chip on my shoulder. I've got something to prove. And I'll prove it on Saturday. Like I said, I like Brandon. He's a nice guy. But it's nothing personal. It's all business to me, and we can be friends after. But man, I want this so bad.
That fight in 2019, I rewatched it this week. I've forgotten how really, really good that fight was. You said that going into this one, you already know that he's not a guy that will break. Is that rare for you? I mean, I think a lot of us kind of watch fights and we're like, oh, none of these guys break, But like, when you think about the competitors that you fought in your career, is it rare what Brandon has of, like, you just know that it doesn't matter what happens in there, you're not going to break him?
Yeah, his mindset's definitely his most dangerous weapon, and it just means that he's in it. He's in this fight till the end, and that's what I love. I want him to bring his best. I want him to bring it to me, because I feel like that's what's going to make me elevate to that next level. So wherever this fight goes, like, I'm more than ready. I've had Dan Hooker beat me up for the last 10 weeks in a spider. If you've ever seen our spider workouts, it doesn't get much scarier than Dan loading up, trying to take your head off, and you're just laughing and smiling at him, saying, "Is this all you can do?" So, man, I'm more than ready to go in there in 5 rounds, 1 round. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I definitely feel like it's all about timing. Brandon's had his time. He's had a taste of being the UFC world champion, and I feel like now it's my time, and that's not taking any discredit or what he's done. It just means that what I'm doing is just on another level, and you'll see that on Saturday. And people that are sleeping on this fight, don't miss it. Tune in, don't blink.
Well, I know that Dan's a great training partner. We've heard about how he'll talk trash with Izzy while he's doing. Did Dan give you any looks? Because the first time you fought Brandon, he was doing some antics. He was walking around like this and everything. Was Dan Hooker giving you those looks in the gym?
Yeah, definitely. Just Dan's a great. He's our team captain, because he just says what you need to hear and not what you want to hear, and he'll get under your skin. He'll get in your face. He'll make you uncomfortable, and there's a reason he's doing that. He's just trying to make you prepare you for what's to come, and he's definitely a bully in the gym, but it's what you need. And fight week, you're not going to get intimidated. You're not going to get overwhelmed because you've seen it all before, and whatever Brandon brings, I'm just more than ready. I'm composed. I'll be using that in the ring, and when I find the shots, I'll put them away this time. I know I rocked him in that first round, and I hurt him, but I feel like I'm just on another level now, and that's what I'll show Saturday.
You feel like you've been ready to be a champion before now, or do you feel like this is the moment? Like, I wasn't ready before. This is the perfect timing for me.
Yeah, I feel like exactly what you're saying. This is the timing of how the sport works. It's when preparation meets attention, and it's all about that mindset that you have that you think about yourself, and the positive self-talk that you're telling yourself, and just mentally, I feel like that's where I'm going to thrive in this fight. Whatever happens, wherever it goes, we'll find a way. So that's a lot of work that we do at our gym under Eugene Behrman at City Kickboxing. All the coaches that we pull from and use and evolve, and it's all coming together. That's what you're seeing. All of that is coming together, and being here in Dallas, being in hostile territory, not having fought in front of my fans and friends and family for a few years now. I welcome it. I love being in that hostile territory. I love when people are against me and don't want me to win, because that just makes me elevate to that next level, and that's where I need to be. I know everyone back home is going to be celebrating and watching this fight, and I can't wait to bring an event back to that side of the world, Australia, New Zealand. That's how I see things happening. We're winning on Saturday and bringing a title fight back to New Zealand. Yeah,
which would be amazing. I look forward to that if that's what the case is. I feel like Izzy gets credit for this and Dan gets credit for this in terms of the sacrifice and just the willingness to go the complete extra mile for their craft. Like with Izzy, he's had so many fights. Like 100 amateur fights is what he likes to say. He was like fighting in China. And Dan was willing to come over to the U.S. and not know when he was going to go back. And like the whole burn the boats thing. They both get a lot of credit for that. I don't feel like that's has been a part of your story, at least just as far as casual fans are concerned. But when you say things like, I've worked my entire life for this, like what comes to your mind? Like, how would you describe that? What have you put into this? What would winning a world championship mean to you and the work that you've done?
Yeah, so the start of my career, I was winning a few, losing a few, living in Thailand for 4 years, being away from family, being pretty much living off paycheck to paycheck. I was fighting in in Thailand. I was fighting in the tin stadiums, just boxing, just to pay for my lifestyle, I guess. And then obviously getting a taste of the Ultimate Fighter back in 2016, and then going to Japan, losing, and then moving back to City Kickboxing in New Zealand, in my hometown, and building myself back up. So I got back on a 5-fight win streak over 2 years, and that's because of Eugene. That's because I committed everything to the sport. I went all in, and it's all paid off. In the UFC, in my UFC career, I was winning at the start, and then I took a loss against Brandon Royval, and that just made me even hungrier. That made me realize, do I actually believe I'm going to be the best? Do I believe I'm going to be a world champion? And that's what changed. And just picking yourself back up, and I feel like people can relate to that. Facing adversity, facing challenges, you just keep turning up for yourself, and I never doubted it. So now, trusting the system, trusting what I'm doing, it's all coming together now. So the last 2 years, what we've had to do in New Zealand, all these quarantines, every time we've travelled, we've had to do 2 weeks in MIQ. Now that's all done now, but I've had to do that a few times, 3 times. I had to stay in a room for 14 days. My gym was shut for 4 months. My last 2 fights ago, Eugene wasn't in my corner for that Cody Garbrandt fight, my biggest fight of my career. Didn't have my head coach, just Dan, under good guidance. Dan, my nutritionist, and Frank Hickman, they were in my corner. So not the ideal situation, but look what we've been able to do in the last 2 years without, the proper ideal camps, without cornermen and coaches being there, and now everything's back to normal. So that's where my strength comes, where everything's back to normal playing field, and I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm just ready to go wherever this fight needs to. So it's all lead me to this moment, and I'm just going to grab it.
Yeah. And last thing for you, I know that it has a little bit of added meaning, right, because of a loss that you had in your family. Can you talk about just what you lost and what that person meant to you? Yeah.
So my uncle, my mum's oldest brother, passed away when I found out about the news of me fighting for a world title. So I'm actually named after him. So
what is your full name, by the way?
So Kai is just a short version of my full name. So Kai Whare is my full name. So Kai Whare KaraFrance. So yeah, his name was Kai Whare as well. It's a family name kind of thing, and yeah, it's kind of how the world works, where you find out something positive, you're about to fight for a world title, but you also find out that your uncle's just passed away. He was sick, so we kind of expected it, but still a big shock. And obviously told my coach I'm going to go back home for a few days and just be there with my family, be present. And yeah, I promised him when I was down there at his funeral, saying, when I win this world title, I'll come back home and celebrate and share it with you. So that's what I plan on doing, and that just motivates me even more. So I come from, such a loving family that that they're so supportive, and from a great team, City Kickboxing. It's more like family than a gym. And yeah, we've had teammates that are that aren't here anymore, and we carry on their legacy. They're always in our corner when we walk out, and when we're about to walk out, we always do a prayer and kind of reminds us what we're doing and why we're doing this, and just makes it more. There's more meaning to what we're about to do. There's more purpose. It's bigger than you. So when you go in there, you just channel all of that support, love, aroha, and you go out there and win world titles.
What did your uncle do for a living? And was he a big? It sounds like he was a big supporter of your fight career.
Yeah, he was big in the community. He did a lot of. He was the president of one of the rugby clubs down where he used to live in Napier, in Morenos. So used to always give his own money to potential talented rugby players and softball players to help push their careers. So real selfless and a big part of the community. So it was a big loss. But yeah, I'm here to put smiles on everyone's faces back home, and when I win, everyone back home will remember where they were when Kai won his world title. And that's what I love doing. I love putting smiles on people's faces. For that 25 or 15 minutes you're fighting, they forget about their troubles, they forget about their worries, and they're just kind of immersed in this emotional roller coaster of the fight game. So I love doing that.
That's awesome, man. You got a great story, and like I said, man, I think a lot of people are sleeping on the fight. I cannot wait for it. UFC 277. Kai, thanks for the time.
I appreciate the time.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.